birch saplings for the houses with maiden girls.
I was like, ooh, that could be fun. And then you said maiden. And I'm like, never mind. I don't have to worry about that.
The entries to the animals' shelters are also adorned with green branches. All branches are left in place with the wheat harvest when they are used in the fire, which will bake the first bread from the new wheat. On May Day Eve, country women do not work in the field as well as in the house to avoid devastating storms and hail coming down on the village. Armageddon is also Oxen Day, and thus the animals are not to be used for work, or else they could die or their owners could get ill. It is said that the weather is always good on May Day to allow people to celebrate.
That's tomorrow, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I was like, it rained today, and that's perfect.
Yeah. All right. A little thing about the U.S. and how we celebrate.
All righty.
The way that we celebrate was also celebrated by some of the early European settlers of the American continent. In some parts of the U.S., many baskets are made, and these are the small baskets that are usually filled with flowers or treats and left at someone's doorstep. The giver rings a bell and runs away.
Ding dong ditch.
Yeah. Modern day May Day ceremonies in the U.S. vary greatly from region to region and may unite both the holidays green root, which is pagan, and red root, which is labor traditions. In 1876, May Day celebrations at Central City Park, Macon, Georgia. May Day celebrations were common at women's colleges and academic institutions in the late 19th and early 20th century, a tradition that continues at Bryn Mawr College and Brenu University to this day. In Minneapolis, the May Day parade and festival is presented annually by the Heart of the Beast Puppet and Mask Theater on the first Sunday in May. So today. And Mask Theater on the first and draws around 50,000 people to Powderhorn Park. On May 1st itself, which is also today, local Morris dance sides converge on an overlook of the Mississippi River at dawn and then spend the remainder of the day dancing around the metro area. And then I wanted to isolate Hawaii because it is also known as Lei Day and is normally set aside as a day to celebrate island culture in general and the culture of the native Hawaiians in particular. Invented by poet and local newspaper columnist Don Blanding, the first Lei Day was celebrated on May 1st, 1927 in Honolulu. Leonard Red and Ruth Hawk composed May Day is Lei Day in Hawaii, the traditional Hawaii song or holiday song. That's all I got about my May Days.
Thanks for educating us.
You are most welcome.
So I'm going to talk about Beltane.
Yeah, girl, I'm here for that.
All right. So Beltane is the Gaelic May Day festival. It is held on May 1st, today, or about halfway between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. Historically, it was widely observed throughout Ireland, Scotland, and the Isle of Man. In Irish, the name of the festival day is it might be Beltane, but It's Beltane to me. I'm not even going to try it. They got it in Scottish Gaelic. They got it in Manx Gaelic. They got it in all kinds of different languages.
Yeah.
I'm not trying. But Beltane is one of the 4 Gaelic seasonal festivals, along with Samhain, which would be Halloween.
Yes.
Imbolc, which is Easter.
Mm-hmm.
And this last one is really hard to pronounce, so forgive me, and I'm all allergy today, so. Lunasta. It's Lugnasadh.
What does it celebrate?
And it is similar to the Welsh Calan Mai.
Oh. Well,
that is,
God bless you.
It is I just went to another page, but it is the Gaelic festival for marking the beginning of the harvest season. So it's in the way that in Bullock is right before Beltane. Lugnasta is before Shawan. Like, it's just the beginning of that season.
Yeah.
Beltane is mentioned in the earliest Irish literature and is associated with important events in Irish mythology. Also known as the first of summer, marks the beginning of summer and when the cattle were driven out to the summer pastures. Rituals were performed to protect the cattle, peoples, and crops to encourage growth. Special bonfires were kindled whose flames, smoke, and ashes were deemed to have protective powers. The people and their cattle would walk around and in between the bonfires and sometimes leap over the flames and the embers. All household fires would be doused and then relit from Beltane bonfires. These gatherings would be accompanied by a feast, and some of the food and drink would be offered to the Eossi, which may be Fae. Yeah, it's the Fae. You would offer food to the Fae. Again, pronunciations. Doors, windows, livestock, houses, they would all be decorated with yellow mayflowers. So, it'd be like daisies and daffodils and everything that's blooming right now. Tulips.
All that, yeah.
They would be decorated with yellow mayflowers, perhaps because they evoked the fire because of the color. In parts of Ireland, people would make a May bush, typically a thorn bush or branch decorated with flowers, ribbons, bright shells, and rushlights. Holy wells were visited, while Beltane dew was thought to bring beauty and maintain youthfulness. Many of these customs were part of May Day or midsummer festivals in parts of Great Britain and Europe. Beltane celebrations have largely died out by the mid-20th century, although some of its customs continued in some places. It has been revived as a cultural event. Sorry, guys, I'm congested. Since the late 20th century, Celtic neo-pagans and Wiccans have observed a festival based on Beltane as a religious holiday. Some neo-pagans in the southern hemisphere celebrate Beltane on or around November 1st.
Pause. When you said, sorry, I'm sick, I thought of Karen from Mean Girls. I can't come out. I'm sick. Sorry. Okay.
There's a 40% chance it's already raining.
We were talking about that at work. Oh my gosh.
Okay. So, historic custom.
Yes.
Beltane was one of the 4 Gaelic seasonal festivals, and it marks the beginning of the pastoral summer season when livestock were driven out. Rituals held at this time were to protect them. There were also rituals to protect crops and dairy products and people, like just really anything about the cattle and the crops. Beltane was a springtime festival of optimism during which fertility ritual again was important, perhaps connecting with the waxing power of the sun. So there wasn't much more on the history of it that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
But I do my own research as well. And there's a lot of things people do for Beltane. And I actually have a list of activities I was going to share that people do. In particular, like pagans. And it's just like all little fun stuff. So it's recommended, like, if you're planting bulbs in your garden. So this would be if you're planting, well, you wouldn't do tulips. Tulips is a fall bulb. But you would be planting your flowers that you want to be able to flower by November. Like, it's going to be your fall plants. But whenever you plant bulbs, you either do it in the spring or the fall. So you can plant bulbs in your garden. Obviously, we're having a bonfire.
Yes.
That's the point of everything. You can go and throw wildflower seeds in the forest. Mm-hmm.
Dance or in people's yards.
Dancing around the maypole, because obviously we know it stands for, it's a big schlong.
Yes.
It's a big schlong with semen ribbons.
Yep.
There's no other way. I'm sorry.
That's
poetic. It's a schlong with semen ribbons. So all the young maidens would grab a ribbon and dance around it. Semen ribbons.
Bring us the babies.
So creating fairy offerings. Just be careful with the fae. Don't give them your name.
Remember a couple of years ago when Silas was just a baby and I found all those mushroom circles at the barn?
Yeah.
That weren't complete yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if that's still happening.
So gathering wildflowers and herbs. Again, decorating your home. It says to make a daisy crown, and I don't have any daisies at my house. I'm really mad about that.
You can do your yellow flowers, too.
I know.
I thought about making crowns today, but I was like, I'm a barbarian.
That's okay. You can be a beautiful barbarian. And then the one thing it says here is making Beltane incense. And I've never experimented with making my own incense.
I've seen a lot of it on TikTok lately.
You put it in a cast iron thing with like the charcoal disc, and you put just like the ingredients with it, and it just smokes and burns. Or are you talking about the ones where they like press it?
I know the ones where they do it on the stick. Like it's an oil, and they just put the sticks in there and wait for them to fully soak, and then they dry them. And that's when you light your incense sticks.
No, I've never send them to me.
Okay.
So, I'm going to read this last little thing I got.
Okay.
Beltane made a celebration of fertility and love. Its symbols are bees, cats, cattle, dove, frogs, goats, leopards, lynx, rabbits, swallows, giggles, and swans. And so on this, if you're into it, traditional like altar decorations would be acorns and antlers, the baskets, blooming flowers and herbs, candles, a cauldron, a cup, floral crowns, May baskets, maypoles, sticks, seeds, and wreaths. Your crystals and stones for this holiday is beryl, emerald, garnet, malachite, rose quartz, and tourmaline. Your colors for Beltane are shades of green and bright spring blues, purples, yellows, and reds. Herbs and flowers. There's an herb called all heal, blessed thistle, broom, coriander, crocus, curry, daffodil, dandelion, dragon's blood, fern, fireweed, flaxseed, forsythia, hawthorn, marjoram, meadowsweet, nettle, paprika, primrose, rose, rue, snapdragon, tansy, tulips, violets, and woodruff.
Goodness.
Your scents
are
frankincense, jasmine, musk, peach, rose, vanilla, and ylang-ylang.
Ylang-a-lang.
Ylang-a-lang. And your trees are alder, ash, birch, hawthorn, hazel, holly, oak, rowan, and willow. And really just, if you're into anything, if you're into it, Pinterest and Wikipedia has all your Beltane rituals.
All of it.
Beautifully alphabetized and organized. Pay attention! It's time for the regularly scheduled portion of the podcast, Song of the Week!
This one popped up in a TikTok, but it's by System of a Down. It's called Spiders. It's great.
I love System of a Down.
Same.
My Song of the Week.
Yeah, I saw it.
And I misspelled. But my Song of the Week I encountered on ye old internet. And it has a